Okay, this is game 2. It's Winter's Gate. It's Lily versus Joe, and here is Lily in the bottom right of the map. That's the thing. That's Joe. I have discovered that when you're watching replays from an older version of StarCraft, which I am because there was a patch after these replays were created, because it logs you out of BattleNet, it doesn't keep your kind of replay settings, so that's why I'm not getting the WCS interface. Yeah, in a lot of ways I actually prefer this interface to use. I appreciate it isn't as good to look at, but I prefer to use because it's just what I'm used to because I play. But anyway, moving swiftly onwards, here is an SCV heading into the Protoss base. In the first game we saw Joe do this, and it didn't really do anything. It just rocked up and sat there for a while. We can see again here Joe is going for the rather dubious multiple supply depot opener, and that's just weird. Lily has gone for the slightly more traditional build a gateway at the top of the ramp, build a second gateway. Okay, that's interesting. This looks like it's a complete wall. There might be a little gap there. Is there a gap there? Is there? Looks like maybe there is. So anyway, Lily this time moves out onto the map with this probe to go and have a look around, or possibly to get up to shenanigans. We can't tell. The side core is building for a Protoss player. There are 2 racks building for the Terran player. So these are promising signs that this is going to be something other than some like weird unit test. I'd like to see something a bit exciting rather than just a bunch of players like sit back, build an army, and then A-click for the win or the loss. So we'll see. The double racks are in much better positions this time, it has to be said. At least they can have room for add-ons. The Marines that are coming out of them can be successfully rallied down the ramp or to wherever. So the first barracks finishes up, and straight away production of nothing starts. Oh, there's a tech lab. Good. This is a good sign. So Joe has been mining gas, and actually double tech lab comes down. Interesting. There's normally, if somebody goes double tech lab, they're playing a big marauder push, and that can be really effective. The DPS from marauders can be pretty brutal, and they're such tanky units, they're hard to kill. So marauders with concussive shell just sent across the map as early as you can get them across can be a pretty unpleasant thing. It tends to be done proxied though, because the build time is that little bit slower because you've got to have the tech lab and stuff than any sort of marine push. So it does tend to be proxied, but so I'm not sure that that's what we're going to see. We've just been watching these workers muck about in the middle of the map. That's probably enough of watching that. The Zealot is in position to stop anything getting into the main base here. I don't know why when there's already an SCV in, but Lily drops the Expo here, and that is going to be useful. Joe, no sign of an Expo yet, and has decided that 14 workers is all you need. So why build anymore? Well, you've got like 5 idle workers right there, look, just parked. It is indeed marauders coming out here, so I kind of like the way this is shaping up. I'd love to see Joe just hold down that D button, keep cranking out the marauders, another tech lab, just keep pouring on the pressure with marauders. March across the map in about a minute's time, maybe with like 6-8 marauders, and just dominate. But given that production has now stopped, I don't think that's what we're going to see. Why has production stopped, Joe? Look, you've got 800 minerals, 500 gas. You've got more than enough to be building stuff out of all 3 of these barracks, but you are choosing not to. Please choose differently. Over in Protoss land, very similar actual opening to the last time. So the Twilight comes down. Last time it was Charge was the upgrade that happened pretty much straight away. And I think this game was played prior to the patch where the Charge has changed slightly in the way that it works, just to make Zealots all around faster. So I think these are old school Zealots. This probe here has already killed an SCV and is not working on a supply depot, but this SCV is like, not on my watch, buddy. I am going to drill you to death in the face, and he does. So the Dark Shrine comes down much earlier this time, following the great success of the DTs in the last game. Dark Shrine isn't a bad choice. I'd love to see Joe get this orbital command. I mean, come on, dude. Orbital command is just, that's what you do. You're Terran. You build a barracks, you turn your command center into an orbital. I'd also really like to see these SCVs just go back to work. Just go and do something useful, you lazy swines. You know, this Marauder count is getting big, man, and Marauders, they Shrek stuff. You know, look at the army supply here. If Joe walks across the map right now, he can win before this Dark Shrine finishes. If he walks across the map with an orbital, he can win even if the Dark Shrine is finished. You know, there's only well, there's a couple of gateways on their way, but you know, Marauder DPS is just, it's so good. This can definitely win, Joe, but look, you're not spending your money. You've still got loads. So do spend the money, spend. You know, this, again, these are idle. These buildings are idle. We have got the +1 weapons coming in, and that's great. There is a warp prism in production, so it looks awfully like Lily is going to try and warp in some DTs. This is going to line up pretty reasonably. The gateways are just finishing up, so it is going to be a total of 4 gateways available to warp these DTs in out of the warp prism. And that's going to be useful. I don't know about the Shadow Strike upgrade. It's just not one that you see used very often, because it just isn't really that useful. I mean, the thing about DTs is they can't be seen, so you know, in general they don't get killed because they're invisible. So not sure what the delay is here. You know, you want to get those into the prism and across the map ASAP. Don't muck about. I mean, why are we still parked here? Go, just go, just go, dude. Off you pop. You know, precious seconds wasted there. How much difference it's going to make, I have no idea. You know, because meanwhile, what's Joe building? More barracks to build nothing out of. You know, because the more barracks you have, the more Marauders you can not build. So that now is a large number of barracks, but look, none of them are doing anything. So you needn't have bothered. None of it's going to matter because you have no detection whatsoever. So when these DTs come out, they're just going to be able to kill everything uncontended. Now, frustratingly, there is an engineering bay. If you're playing Terran and you're against Protoss, always put a turret in your mineral line. Helps defend against oracles, which are reasonably inevitable. Helps defend against DTs. You know, it's a good thing. Helps defend against the prism. It helps defend. These Marauders are going to come over here, and it's just going to be a terrible waste of perfectly good Marauder because they can't see this. They can't. Well, you know what I mean. They can't. They just. How frustrating. So let's speed up what is going to be a fairly miserable and. As these invisible units just slice their way, swish, swish, through this Terran base, while Joe goes, I don't really know what's happening here. I'll have a look around. Doesn't look like there's anything here. Maybe they left. Maybe they've gone home. I am a little confused, in as much as, seriously, where are the DTs and why aren't they just killing stuff? I mean, what? You know, you don't need more. You just need the ones you've got to be doing some killing. You know, like they're invisible units. Like, why would you just send them in? Why spend this time waiting? Why wait and give your opponent an opportunity to get detection? Not that Joe's taken that opportunity, but if he had of, you could now lose a game that you very much should have won. But in the end, none of that mattered because GG.